barely over a minute, yet shocking. Why did BTS end his live so quickly? The silence that followed was louder than the live itself. Just 1 minute and 41 seconds. That was all it took for V, one of BTS's most enigmatic figures, to leave millions of fans questioning everything they thought they knew. Why would an artist of his stature appear so suddenly, say so little, and vanish almost instantly? Was it a casual move? Or was there a deeper message hidden behind that fleeting moment? The questions refuse to fade, and the mystery continues to spark heated debates among fans and observers alike. It is no secret that every public action from BTS members carries weight. Their presence is not just entertainment, it is a cultural signal. So when V appeared on Weverse, many expected warmth, stories, or even casual updates. Instead, he offered brevity, a shocking brevity. His statement, "I'll clean myself," delivered with disarming simplicity, became the last words before the screen went dark. How could such a short remark shake a global community? And why did he choose this exact moment in this exact way to speak? For some, the incident was almost humorous. A superstar appearing briefly, announcing something mundane, then disappearing. Yet for others, it carried a sting of unease. Was he distracted? Was he testing reactions? Or was he sending an intentional signal that only a few could decode? The duality of interpretations highlights a fascinating truth. With figures like V, even silence becomes content, and even absence generates headlines. The brevity of this live cannot be dismissed as accidental. Timing, length, and choice of words are elements carefully scrutinized in the world of global stardom. Fans immediately began speculating whether V was simply teasing, experimenting with formats, or expressing a subtle emotional state. Could it be a playful act meant to spark laughter? Or perhaps a way of showing his unpredictable human side? If so, then he succeeded beyond measure. Yet if the intent was different, if there was something beneath the surface, then the story takes a far more dramatic turn. Observers point out that the duration of 1 minute and 41 seconds is almost symbolic. It is long enough to be noticed, yet short enough to leave almost nothing tangible behind. Was this brevity intentional performance art? A minimalist act meant to remind audiences of his autonomy? After all, the music industry often demands endless visibility from its stars, and V has always been known for resisting predictability. In this sense, the act itself becomes a statement. You cannot control when or how I choose to appear. The emotional reaction from fans, however, cannot be understated. Social media timelines erupted instantly, with ARMY debating whether they had just witnessed something lighthearted or something troubling. Is he alright? Some wondered. Others countered, he's just being V. Always playful, always unexpected. But underneath the humor and speculation lies a deeper anxiety, the fear of not knowing. In the age of hyperconnection, even a brief absence of clarity breeds speculation, and speculation breeds tension. There is also a strategic dimension worth considering. Could it be that V understands better than anyone the value of scarcity? In a digital landscape flooded with content, where streams often last hours, he created impact with a fragment. 1 minute and 41 seconds became more discussed than many other idols' hour-long sessions. This inversion of expectation, using brevity as power, demonstrates the paradoxical brilliance behind such a move. Yet it also leaves the haunting question: was it strategy, or was it impulse? The remark itself, "I'll clean myself," adds another layer of ambiguity. Taken literally, it is mundane, almost trivial. But taken symbolically, it can be interpreted as a metaphor. Cleanse from what? Was he alluding to a fresh start, a personal reflection, or simply a shower? The ambiguity fuels the conversation further. For in fandom culture, nothing is ever entirely ordinary. A single phrase becomes a riddle, and a riddle sustains endless discourse. Fans who tuned in live described a surreal sensation. They expected connection and instead were left with a cliffhanger. Some likened it to opening a long-awaited letter only to find a single line. Others described it as performance in itself, a reminder of how fragile and fleeting moments can be when shared through screens. Whatever the interpretation, the emotional residue was undeniable. A mix of confusion, amusement, worry, and admiration all tangled together. Even outside the fan community, cultural commentators have taken notice. The brevity of V's appearance is now discussed not only as celebrity behavior, but as a phenomenon of digital attention itself. In a world addicted to long feeds, endless scrolling, and constant updates, here was a superstar reversing the trend. 1 minute and 41 seconds commanded more attention than hours of endless streams. Is this a critique of our digital culture? Was V, intentionally or not, highlighting the absurdity of our expectations for constant engagement? The story does not end with the live itself, it lives on in the aftermath. Fans continue to analyze tone, timing, and intent. Clips circulate endlessly, dissected frame by frame. The absence of further explanation only magnifies the speculation. Should we interpret silence as indifference, or as deliberate mystery? Should we laugh at the simplicity of it all, or should we take it seriously as a signal of something yet to come? The lack of clarity is the very reason this short live has gained such magnitude. What remains certain is that the incident has left a mark. It reveals the fragile line between performance and reality, between casual gestures and cultural phenomena. In V's case, even the shortest act becomes monumental. And perhaps that is the essence of his power: unpredictability. Fans may never know the true reason why the live ended so quickly, but perhaps that is the point. The unanswered question is the story itself. The moment we attempt to analyze such an incident, another pressing question arises. Do we truly know what we saw? Was the 1 minute and 41 second live stream an authentic occurrence, or could it have been staged with a deliberate motive to generate intrigue? The line between fact and spectacle has always been thin in the digital era. Yet this particular case seems to collapse the distinction entirely. Can we, as rational observers, simply accept the narrative at face value, or must we interrogate every detail with unrelenting skepticism? Social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, were immediately flooded with clips and commentary. But is virality proof of authenticity, or is it merely proof of circulation? When millions of users share, repost, and comment, the echo grows louder than the original act. What if this brevity was never meant to be consumed in isolation, but instead engineered to become magnified by digital repetition? In that sense, are we witnessing reality, or are we merely consuming a simulation constructed by the logic of social media itself? Consider the possibility that the entire event functioned as a media experiment. If so, then we must ask, who controls the narrative? Is it V himself exercising his agency with precision, or is it the surrounding ecosystem, fans, media outlets, algorithms that transforms a simple action into a global phenomenon? And if it is the latter, are we not complicit in fabricating meaning where perhaps none was intended? This is not a minor concern. It is a question that cuts into the very foundation of how we understand celebrity in the 21st century. Even more unsettling is the thought that this could have been orchestrated not as expression, but as strategy. Could the brevity be a tool of manipulation, designed to test the boundaries of attention economics? A performance of absence, one that paradoxically ensures constant presence? If so, then how can we differentiate between art and calculation? And more importantly, how can we, as an audience, guard ourselves against being swept into the tide of sensationalism that thrives on such ambiguity? The remark itself, "I'll clean myself," further deepens the puzzle. Do we interpret it literally or symbolically? Was it an honest declaration, or a carefully planted phrase intended to stimulate speculation? If the latter, are we not falling into a trap by dissecting its meaning endlessly? At what point does interpretation become overinterpretation, and at what cost do we indulge in the allure of reading significance into silence? These questions are not rhetorical distractions, they are necessary tools for critical thought. We must confront the uncomfortable reality that much of what we consume in the digital space may be partial, fragmented, or even fabricated. How many of us pause to verify the context before reacting? How many considered the possibility of hoax or misrepresentation? And how many accepted the surface narrative simply because it was delivered under the prestigious name of a global celebrity? To claim certainty in this case would be dishonest. Information is drawn from multiple sources. TikTok snippets,